Thank you, Sally, for asking me to speak tonight. Just get the light a bit right to read it. Recently, millions of World Pride attendees celebrated New York's 50th anniversary, thank you, of the now iconic 1969 Stonewall riots. These riots were the catalyst for the international LGBTQI+ community rights movement. This event was characterized by showing the oppressive forces at the time how powerful we are. It's because these riots became immortalized and the activists remembered that our community rights movement started in Australia in 1970. The New York commemorations remind us that Australia will soon be celebrating its 50-year anniversary of gay rights beginnings. Unlike New York, our storied history of emerging rights didn't begin in a bar like this, pub or an inn. It began with a small group of very brave women and men. I'd like to acknowledge the founders of Camp Inc., the campaign against moral persecution, Christabel Pole and John Ware. It was 1970 when the first Australian national homosexual rights movement was born. Over time, this small 1970 movement grew and expanded to what we know today as the LGBTQI+ community. Nor could we have hoped to see the multitude of diverse community organizations that have come from or taken inspiration from our aspirations that began nearly 50 years ago with Camp Inc. As far back as 1974, Camp Inc. was demanding legal recognition of homosexual unions. In response to an hostile Sydney Anglican Diocese report, Camp Inc. retorted, "We demand legal recognition of homosexual unions for as long as the community accepts marriage in its present form." During my long activist life, I've seen and been part of many different change campaigns, most recently the change to the Marriage Act. These varying campaigns all had one thing in common. Our opponents in every legal and social change mobilization did resort to spreading fear, psychological damage, misinformation, deceit, and conflation. However, the Marriage Act reform campaign was different in a way I'd never felt before. I would like to share a personal experience. One day, while standing in my kitchen during the marriage equality campaign, I had a visualization of our opponents' utterings and tactics. It came to me like a thunderbolt out of the blue. I entered a very large space. The walls were covered with our modern symbol of liberation and pride, our rainbow flag. In front of the wall was a triangle of was a triangle flogging frame. It was covered with a pink triangle. The pink triangle, once a symbol of homosexual oppression in the Nazi concentration camps, but reclaimed by us in the 70s to celebrate our sexuality and pride. It had again become an oppressive symbol. With my arms stretched out and feet together, I was strapped onto the triangle flogging frame. My sweating body was pressed against the beloved symbol, helping to ease my psyche's pain, while I underwent a daily psychological media flogging with a cat o' nine tails, like a criminal in the olden days. I was being punished and my life degraded because I demanded the removal of discrimination. I will name a few of the many flagellators. Suffice to say, they're mainly Caucasian, males, privileged, and so they say are motivated by Christian principles. They're like hungry wolves lined up to kill their symbolic prey. While the daily flagellations were administered via media platforms, on my naked torso, the flagellators bellowed. Senator Matt Kevenan, he shouted, "Grow a spine!" Burning with psychological pain, I retorted, "But Matt, I grew an activist spines, which is filled with hunger and passion for equality. I grew it nearly 50 years ago, way before you were born." Privileged Johnny Howard, he uttered, "Your rainbow families can never be as good as mine." Oh, this painful, cruel agony. He mocked my 50-year-long love for my beloved Bon. Cunningly, the Warringah abbot pontificates that my same-sex love at best is like a friendship. His dismissal for my love for Bon, it tormented me. These disrespectful, despicable, vile outbursts, they cut deep into my flesh of self-respect, dignity, and pride. Despite being tormented, ridiculed, and attempts to put us down, our victory came. 7 December 2017, when we showed the world how powerful we are.